Hi everyone, and welcome to part two, excuse me, of the beta testing with the all the people who are in my beta testing group. So I just want to have catch up and find out how these ladies are doing and what is happening with their cellular regeneration and what's been happening to them in the last month or so. Okay, so Bardeen, tell me about your situation, please. How have you been feeling?
Does the girl not want to start who wants to leave early?
Okay,
Spring.
Spring, do you want to start?
Sure. Do you want to guide me a bit? What?
Sure. So how have you been? So I did Spring and Karen's cellular regeneration when they came to visit me, slightly because I was bouncing around so much that we were out of alignment. And they came to visit me, and we had and it was quite funny because normally I don't know, I don't schedule too many things in a day, because when you do, then you're exhausted. And what I did was, they were only coming for, what was it, 36 hours or something absurd.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah. It wasn't 48, it was less than 48.
You're right, it was 36. Yeah,
something like that. Anyway, somewhere in between. So I scheduled a day, like a big day of things. So it was, they arrived, and then they arrived at night, and then it was quite late by the time you got there, and we had like a catch up and went to bed. And then in the morning we had so I had 10 a.m. axe throwing, which was brilliant. I'm really good with an axe, everyone. Really, really good. Double axe throw. Weird skills we've got. Sure, I was a Viking in a past life, because I'm very good at finishing fish as well. So anyway, so then we went on to that, and then we had a nice lunch, and then we had a bit of a drive, and then we came back here, and then we made pizzas, and then we had a little party, and and I was still, just bouncing around, just on a different level. And also I seemed to be a lot warmer. There was a point when we were standing outside the axe throwing place, and I was in a t-shirt, and Spring had like a top, a jumper, a coat, and a scarf.
A coat, yeah.
And I was in a t-shirt. And we were going, this was weird, that it was like, she was convinced I should have been cold, but it was sunny, so I was fine. Anyway, then I had so much more energy, which Karen picked up on, because they know me very well, these two ladies. And then I just thought, right, well, we're out of balance, so I may as well do Karen and Spring, who are going to be doing my level 12 imminently as well. So it's part of the beta testing. So they got sped up to do that. So, and it was really largely to make everyone in alignment, because I was just bouncing around like Tigger. And they were looking at me like, what are you doing?
What are you on?
Bouncing? It's kind of annoying, because I was bouncing everywhere. And they were just, more relaxed, 40-year-old ladies, very relaxed. Anyway, so I was literally just bouncing around. So anyway, so we did Karen and Spring that day. And then what's been your experience since, and how have your illnesses been, and what's been going on? Your body initially changed. Yes, tell us your story since I did your
okay. So what I noticed is, because after visiting you, I did go to California, and what I noticed is that when I went there, I didn't have any jet lag at all. I was immediately adjusted to the place, and I adapted, and I felt like I had overall more energy. Also, because when we were in the parking lot and I was really cold, and I was like, why are you not cold? You actually checked on me. You checked on what my levels were in terms of the voltage. Mm-hmm. And it was quite low. I think it was around 50. Yeah. And then we realized that it was probably because of the autoimmune disease that I had, which since starting Divine Empowerment has been gradually, with each level, I've been able to heal more parts of it. Yeah. But then I think the conclusion we came to is that even though most of it is gone, it's just kind of damaged, if you like, my system, and lowered the levels so far. So what I've noticed is that I have moments when I'm super tired and it feels more like my system's repairing itself. So I have to rest, but at the same time, I feel well, if that makes sense. So it's not like the tiredness I used to have when the autoimmune would sort of activate itself, where I would need to lay down and would completely be like either with fever or I just wouldn't be able to get up and would just be weak. Now what I feel is just a tiredness, but I don't feel achy, I don't have fever. And despite the tiredness, I feel well, like I can notice that there's a difference.
Yeah.
The other improvement I've noticed is that I seem to have gone a couple of months ago, I seem to have gone into perimenopause, so the pre stage, due to hormonal imbalances. And one of the most annoying symptoms was bloatedness. And I still had, even though I take a supplement, a natural supplement, and that's kind of dealt with all of the other symptoms, the bloatedness wasn't going. And so when I visited you, it was still present. It was less, but it was still present to the point where it was annoying and uncomfortable. And that has gradually like improved as well.
Yeah.
And then in terms of appearance, I don't know. I think I'll have to just see with the photographs.
Yeah, I think that so the way that it seems like, because obviously this is all, we're in beta testing, so we don't really understand this fully, and we're all in an experiment, which is the whole point of it being beta testing. What it seems like is that the people who are a little bit poorly in some way are it's repairing the things which are below par within their system, which is also quite tiring. So when you're I mean, if anyone's had flu or whatever it might be, it's, you know, when you're getting well from it, you are pretty zonked out and exhausted. So I think what's happening is it's using all the energy just to heal things, and heal things that potentially are very difficult to heal, like autoimmune disease you've had for years, and we've done a lot of work, and you've done a lot of work on it forever. But it feels like it's using the additional life force to really focus in on the bit which needs working on, which might actually be making you a bit more tired or the same level of tiredness, but it feels like it's actually improving that incrementally, and it's almost regrowing or repairing or whatever it is from the stance of that sickness. So it seems with the people who are in the testing that the ones who have been poorly are more tired, and the ones who are quite well, which we'll get on to Karen in a moment because hers is quite different, have really had some really noticeably positive boundless energy sorts of situations. So I think it really depends where people are starting. So I've got a few different people that I'm working on, and it does make a difference in that way. But you feel like you're more well in some way.
Yeah, definitely. And it makes perfect sense to me. Like if I think about the fact that the level was so low, and even though you've ramped it up so high, if I had that sickness for all those years, there must have been, like, all of my cells must somehow now, like, they're going through repair. So it makes perfect sense to me that that's what happened. But I do feel well compared to before.
Yeah, that's good. So what I've done is I filled everyone's system up to 333. So it's like their energy field overall is at 333. However, it's trickling down into all the different parts of the physical body. It's almost like there are these tubes, and they're going into different areas. So if you have a few tubes which are super duper low, then it's going to take some time to incrementally go up, and I've left it quite broad mostly to be able to just work on the bits that need working on the most first. So I think once you're more well, and that's just
Mhm.
out of your system, hopefully it happens that way, then it will go on to the more almost superficial, but the fun stuff of the having lots more energy and reverse aging, which is,
Yeah.
it's not superficial. It would be amazing to get to that stage, but certainly having an actual illness takes priority over that sort of
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Anything else to say on that, Spring, or are you happy with that?
No, just thank you, and that I don't care how long it takes. I can tell it's working, and it'll just take the time that it takes. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. All right. Actually, I might do Bardeen next and then do finish with Karen, because I know Karen's got a very big positive story. So I might finish on the big one. I don't know how Bardeen has been quite as much. Tell us what's going on.
Hi. So yeah, I mean, I haven't had any physical issue. I've got no health problems or complaints or anything. But for me, that made me interested in this is because I had years of lack of sleep. I had about 11 years of not sleeping very well at all. I was kind of in a trance. Photos of me, I just looked not quite like myself. So I was interested in doing this, is to let my body kind of have a spa time and just give myself everything that I've lost in all that time.
Okay.
I've noticed that my hair grows a bit faster. And I've noticed that my muscle recovery is better because I work out, about 6 days a week, body weight, and I use some weights as well. And I've noticed that I can go further with that. My cardio is better, even though I don't go for runs. And then afterwards, my physical joints and my muscle recovery is speedier, which is great.
Would you be able to place yourself on an age on that? So obviously that deteriorates as we grow. So is it like you were 2 years ago, 5 years ago? Would you be able to place that?
Let's have a look. No, this is like being in my late 20s or 20s.
And may I ask your age?
I'm 44.
Okay, so it's sort of taken 20 years off to
Yes, yeah. So there's that kind of
recovery and cardio. That's amazing.
bodily feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
That's
sleep
good.
is better. It went through a bit of a stage where it was a bit restless and a bit funny. It's kind of like the bed was irritating me a bit. I don't know, but now it's really deep and it feels good. And again, I've had this pattern for 17 years of doing exactly the same thing over and over and having no control or no choice about it. And now I'm at a stage where I'm reassessing my time and my interests, and it's kind of, and that's the what do you call it? The
Bandwidth.
Broadband width. Yeah, that's kind of that.
Yeah, so you've got more space internally and to be able to do multiple different tasks or
so it
think
just
more
kind
clearly.
of feels like something has opened up and like I'm having a perspective change and like I can take a deep breath and I'm going okay. Yeah, so those are my main observations, and then I'm keeping an eye on my hands. But that's the skin, because I have my dad's genetics, and the skin on the hands age really quickly.
Right.
So I can visually look at that in any daylight and everywhere, and you can you can see the skin on the hands, and I'll let you know as soon as I see something that looks much different, because you can't look your own face so close up, anytime. And when you wear makeup and stuff, it's not such a good observational point, but hands are really good to look at. Yeah. Hardworking hands. You can see when something changes in the system. You can really see it on the veins and on the,
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And also Antonello is your husband, and
yes.
So what's he had? Because he wasn't very descriptive in our little interview. Do you want to tell us what his experience has been from your perspective?
When he left your meeting, his first initial meeting with you, he came out with a blush on his face.
Yeah.
Blush. cheeks.
And he's been sick as well, so he's got color back in his cheeks, having been quite sick.
Yes, and the sunken eyes and that kind of tired lines across the face, and the eyes and the blush just changed almost immediately for him, and it hasn't left him. He still looks the same. He still looks blushed, sun-kissed, and lovely. Yeah, and then of course, he's taken on all this like crazy sports and stuff. So yeah, and he's dyslexic as well. So he's got quite a lot going on, and then he's got his health condition as well. So yeah, there's a lot happening there and a lot to observe.
But do you think he's got more energy because he's taken on this new sport? Because he was a bit tentative.
Yeah, his problem with his energy was that he had energy peaks where it would go far, far, far too high to maintain whatever is coming next in your day. And now things are more stabilized, still high energy, but he doesn't have this like woo and then like crash and close eyes and just like become non-responsive almost. So it's a little bit more even out, but it's still high. Yeah.
That's a great description, because I was wondering, because I wasn't entirely sure after the meeting what would really had happened apart from taking on a new sport, which I can't necessarily take credit for. I don't know if that helped with this stuff or whether he would have done that regardless. It's a bit of a random variable, I guess.
Yeah, he's been looking at it for months, but yeah, it's just having that kind of little push. Confidence. I think confidence is a big thing for me and him, again, because we've been in this tight role as carers for my son for 17 years. And you do in that time lose some confidence towards your community or friends, or there is that thing about confidence and bringing new things into your life, because you are on constant call, you are on constant duty as parents looking after someone with severe disability. So you're constantly on that. It doesn't matter if you go on a holiday, doesn't matter if you have help or anything, and that then makes you thin your flow towards confidence, conversation, attentiveness, new ideas. These things, the flow towards these new things get a little bit pinched because you're saving everything else for the role that you cannot just put away. So
that's also bandwidth. That's also, so bandwidth is very broad. I mean,
bandwidth, yeah,
it's, I mean, even me driving, I've now, like, country roads are different driving to London, and I just forgot how to drive country roads. Like, I used to be really good at driving country roads, and then I think my bandwidth just got compressed being in London and aging and all the rest of it, and now I'm just like back to how I used to be driving when I was 17 or 25 or whatever it was, when I was driving down on the country roads, and and having it, my reaction speed seems to be quicker, and just being in the flow. I just seem to be more often in a flow state and more connected. And for me as well, I've been downloading this week as well, and normally when I'm downloading, or previously, I've been completely comatose and just sort of spaced out and just watching movies. Like last week when I was downloading, I was managing to exercise every day, which is a revelation, because I've never been able to do that, never been able to exercise and download at the same time. It's made me bedridden. So that's a huge
that's
change
huge.
in the woohoo.
That's insane.
Yeah, so party time. Yeah, it's a big difference in me being able to actually move and exercise and do different things and take on new sports. And I've just taken on e-foiling today.
Yeah. Voila. Yeah.
Well, my friend was like, let's go. Yeah. But taking on a new sport is a big thing. But I think I'm just exercising every day and doing 10,000 steps a day and an exercise class, which I've not done since I was in my 20s, doing both of those. I'm on a mission now, which is really cool.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get a step tracker.
Oh, I've got one of the. I've got
I should get one. Yeah.
Karen, you've had a very interesting positive time. So let me set the scene again. So as it happened, Karen and Spring were like what's happened to you? Well, you were saying what's happened to you. You're just completely bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right, I'll bounce you off the walls. And then you left my house. So Spring and Karen came to visit me together. And I bet your car journey was interesting because I bet you just went blah, 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 because they've known each other for years.
We did that on the way to you.
Oh, yeah, you would. Because they've known each other for years and never met in person. So I think that was already exciting, of course. And on the way back, you didn't stop talking either. Could you even get in each other? Like get a word in edgeways either?
No, we were good actually. But that car journey, that was a really long drive, and I drove a lot. I think, how many times did I stop? Was it once or twice in the end? Once to Gatwick, from Cornwall. I stopped once. That's it.
Yeah.
And that was all motorway, not even like the nice roads. It was like the motorway. It was like horrible driving, and we were just like, I'm just going for it. But so what I remember is first of all, I've known you since you were 19. Okay, and that's a really long time. And you were literally like you were 19 again. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to survive. This is like mad, because where I was like completely the opposite. So I just started experiencing the perimenopause, and which was really affecting me badly because everything hurt all the time and I had no energy or no enthusiasm or anything. And you know me, I like to get up early and I want to go running and I want to do Pilates, and I just didn't want to do any of it. And actually the Saturday when we woke up, I remember in the kitchen, Spring, and I was telling you literally woke up in Cornwall, beautiful sunny day, and I just wanted to stay in bed. And I was just like, I feel terrible. I feel absolutely terrible. And there's you come down, bouncy. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to crawl back into bed. So the fact that after that day, I have not felt like that once.
And that was a month ago.
Was it a month ago? Yeah, I have not felt like, it's like all the perimenopause symptoms have gone, like just like that. And I have a lot more energy. I have my creativity, my productivity, my energy levels, my enthusiasm, my motor, everything is just like, it's gone back up. Like, I can't even explain to you how amazing it is. And I go for a run, and it's like I haven't really done very much. I go for a run and I'm barely, I can feel my glutes because I've worked my glutes, but I haven't got the joint aches or the fatigue or the DOMS. I'm not getting DOMS at all. And then I'll do like all of my Pilates, the whole advanced Pilates workout, and it's just like
Karen's a Pilates instructor for anyone who's unaware.
Yes, I am. So yeah, and so in that respect, it's amazing because my body is working so well now, and I'm able to do the things which I was finding challenging, physical, exercise wise, because I'm always pushing myself. I just can deal with them and I just can do them. My body is just working so much better. But it's the mental clarity as well, which is incredible. And like I said, my productivity and creativity, because with all the business stuff that I'm doing, as well as teaching, I'm teaching like 5-6 clients in a row and then getting on my laptop and getting stuff done. Whereas before, I could get admin done early in the morning, then I'd teach, and then that's it. I'd have nothing left. Now I can work whenever. I'm like, I'm good to go. So it's incredible. What was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say. Something that you mentioned, and something that Bardeen mentioned. I can't remember now.
What about your jet lag?
Oh yeah, no.
You what?
No jet lag. Literally, I started taking melatonin the day I arrived in Florida, but I've taken melatonin before and it's never worked. And I've been to the States twice and it's never worked. I've had jet lag when I got to America and jet lag, really bad jet lag when I got back.
Much worse when you come back.
Much worse when you come back. No, I remember like literally floored and like literally floored, but no. So I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit tired, but I got off the plane on Sunday morning. I did sleep a bit.
It's Tuesday evening, by the way.
I know it is.
I know, I'm telling the people who are listening to us.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Excuse me, I forgot to call it. Sunday evening. I stayed up until I got through the day. So I slept on the plane, but not very much. I got through the day. So I went to bed at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock on Sunday night. Had a couple of glasses of wine as well. Straight back to work on Monday morning. And so I've just got straight back.
And you cleaned the whole house and sorted things out as well, didn't you, on Sunday night?
I literally,
after getting off the plane.
Just Sunday day, I came home because I left my 17-year-old here, and I came home, started put washing on, cleaning, like tidying up a little bit. Went off and saw Henry, my boyfriend. Spent a few hours with him. Came back, and I was like, okay, it's time to go to bed now. And then, like I said, we got up at 5:15 on Monday morning. Got up, did my Pilates workout, sorted myself out for work, straight back into work. Got a bit tired in the afternoon, but like this afternoon, I'm feeling a bit tired, but I needed a power nap yesterday. I had like 25 minutes power nap yesterday. That's it.
So 2 questions. One is, could you place your age? How many years ago would you feel like this? 2 is, what were your menopausal symptoms, your perimenopausal symptoms?
I would say that my energy levels are, I would say early 30s, but I didn't used to exercise like I do now, remember?
So Karen's just turned 50, so it's early 30s, you would say, but you weren't nearly as fit then.
No, not in the slightest. I'm much fitter now. But I would say like energy levels, stamina, like to get through the day kind of thing. I would say early 30s, I'd say. The menopausal
So that's about 20 years off, give or take, isn't
it? Yeah.
I think the idea is 20 to 25 years off people is what I think this does.
Yeah, I definitely think so. So
we're also not through it as well yet. We're still, it's still flooding into all the different bits. So amazing that pretty much immediately you felt like you were 20 years younger, almost overnight or exactly overnight.
Well, it's been a month. It's been like,
and it's been the same since then. Yeah,
definitely. My hair and nails are much better. They were really weak, and they're much, much better as well. So that's really good. That's really positive. Did you want to say something, Spring?
No, just when you're done.
Okay.
So the perimenopausal symptoms which I was experiencing, the one which was like doing my head in was, well, the sleep. I don't know, I think it was affected by the perimenopause, but I haven't slept well in a very long time, years. But it got worse. But it was the tiredness, the fatigue, and the body aches as well, and the lack of enthusiasm for anything. I mean, I just wanted to stay at home all the time. I just, and I felt like my body just, like I would get bloated. One day I'd be bloated, one day I'd be constipated, the next day I wouldn't be. It's just like everything was all over the place. And the periods I was getting were so painful, like as if I'd fallen down and actually injured my back. And I have injured my back. But it was like not being able to get up in the morning, not sleeping, then not being able to get up in the morning, not having any motivation to do the things that I love doing. Your whole outlook, you get very negative. Everything becomes really negative. Like you kind of like you have a cloud over you all the time. And the body aches just did my head in. You know me. I'm active. I like to be. I always move around, and that was horrible. And I have had a period since, and I barely noticed it. So all of that, just because I was talking to Spring about the supplement that she was taking, and I was going to try it, I haven't needed to. I haven't needed to in the slightest. So I'm a very happy bunny. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you do feel brighter. You're just back to being you rather than just being more heavy and tired.
Yeah, you kind of you completely lose yourself with this perimenopause business. It's like somebody's taken everything, drained everything from you. It's
I
horrible.
think it's life force.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if this is true, but I have wild, crazy ideas. Anyone who follows my channel might be aware of my wild, crazy ideas. I wonder if menopause is a natural state. And I wonder if there is something to do with when our cellular voltage decreases, then we get the symptoms of what we're calling menopause. But if our cellular voltage didn't decrease, for whatever reason. And I wonder if why it happens to certain people at certain ages is because their cellular voltage. I wonder if they're intrinsically linked. And if your cellular voltage didn't decrease, whether you wouldn't actually go to menopause.
Somebody put something in the group about menopause, that it didn't exist or something, or that...
Probably me. I don't think it, I just think that it's something weird.
I remember something.
I have heard that somewhere as well in someone talking, saying that menopause for women isn't a natural thing, and we should be able to bear children until we are quite old. But
we're the only animal that can't. We are the only animal that can't. And some people, I've been looking into this on and off for a few years because it's a conundrum to my brain, and I just take on the biggest mysteries in the universe, just weirdly. But I don't think it is. And there's often a symptom, like there's something big that happens, where often it's when your child leaves home or you go through a divorce, or there's normally something quite traumatic that happens just before you go into menopause. Like often it's a child going to university, and then maybe you get depressed, maybe you get upset, maybe you miss them terribly, maybe, you know, there's a big situation happening in your life. And I wonder if that just knocks off in some way your cellular voltage, and then that causes menopause to happen. They do reckon that one of the reasons that we have menopause and other animals don't is because our children are helpless when they're born. You know, most animals can like go and sort of stand straight away, like everything can pretty much stand straight away. Look at a foal or something, they can stand straight away. So they are helpless for longer. So they say that we need to have menopause earlier, just so that we're not, you know, having children when we're much older, so that we can look after them and care for them until they're of an age of some description. Don't buy it. There's something off with it, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel correct to me somehow, but I don't understand why or how or what it is. So I'm sure people comment below and tell me what the heck is going on, because it seems weird.
It was actually really funny because remember I was posting about, I've been experiencing perimenopause, and you messaged me going, I think I'm going to mess up your business model.
I know you were coaching, you were about to start something about coaching about perimenopause.
No, I was just being open. I was just letting people know that, you know, I'm dealing with it as well. That was all I was doing. But you were like, I'm gonna mess this up for you. And I'm like, no, because we have another story.
Well, you know, you guys are my practitioners, so you will be able to do this in June anyway for people. So that will be very important for people who are suffering, because I'm just not into suffering me. I just think it's silly. We haven't let Spring speak, and she asked you a moment ago, so let's let her come in and talk to us.
Yeah, because I need to hop off in a minute.
I know.
It was it came to me when I listened to Karen, because she was talking about exercise, and then I realized that that's improved. So I'm going for walks every day, and I'm back to doing Pilates and yoga every day. But when I came to see you, I was struggling to do it every day. I was still pretty consistent, but I wasn't able to do it every day because I was often too tired from this whole perimenopause or whatever that's called, in combination with sometimes the autoimmune still coming on. And now that is one thing that I noticed. It doesn't feel difficult. Like I can just get on my mat and I get on with the exercise and then I'm done and I'm fine. And it doesn't feel like exhausting or anything. Yeah. So that's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's the same with me. It's a huge difference to be able to train, because I used to be super fit.
I'm going to log off now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Spring. See you.
Bye, Julie.
Yeah, no, I used to be super fit, and because I've been doing this magic work for so many years, I lost my fitness, because you can't download and awaken these abilities. It's very, very hard on my body. And I just haven't had the strength to be able to do the energy work, to do the exercise at the same time. But now I'm able to do it, which is just absolutely fantastic, to be able to have that bandwidth, to have the more energy to be able to take on these things. Bardeen, do you have any perimenopausal symptoms, or is that not something going on for you at the moment? I'm just thinking you're the same sort of age.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, you may not be there yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't have bloatedness or digestion or any of those things. I get night sweats and stuff like that, but that's when I'm premenstrual, so I don't have any. I don't think so. Right. Unless I'm in denial.
I'm sure you know your body better. Cool. Well, this is already positive. Is there anything else anyone wants to add to their story about this?
Very happy. Thank you.
No, I think I'm good. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So thank you very much, ladies, for being here today. So I am still in beta testing. So if anyone is interested, please just go onto my website and book in for an hour session. It's $9.99. It will be going up because I'm still in beta testing. So this is the cheapest it will ever be. When my practitioners do it in a couple of months' time, it still won't be $9.99. It will be at least a couple of £1,000 for one area, and possibly $5 for two. So it's not going to be a cheap system, because it's revolutionary and it will repair most things in your body. So it's very similar to stem cells. And the problem with stem cells is they die off after, I believe it's 3 days. This continues to work and will go to all the different areas which are broken in people's bodies. So if you are interested, please do book in via my website, or you can wait and get to one of the practitioners in June. It's end of June, isn't it? We're doing level 12, I think.
It's sometime in June, yeah.
So, okay, cool. So that's the update, everyone. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you, ladies, for being here, and see you later. Stop recording.